Hiya, I'm Simon Mole and I am a poet. Today's video is all about sounds that make meaning. For example, what do you think is the difference between a rock and a stone? Which do you think is bigger? Which has more spiky, jagged edges? Which is smoother? Which is smaller? Pause the video to think about that on your own or in your group, and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Nice one. Most people I've asked think that a rock is bigger with spiky or jagged edges, and that a stone is usually smaller and smoother. The idea for comparing these two words in particular came from a brilliant poet called Mary Oliver. She said that because rock ends with that k sound, you almost hear the silence at the end of the word before the word finishes. Now, that's a bit of a strange idea, but I reckon if we all say the word rock together after 3, you'll hear what she means. 1, 2, 3, rock. I think it gives it a spiky sound. She also points out that stone has that smooth O sound in the middle, so the sounds of the words connect to their meaning. But how can we use that in our writing? Well, let's take this sentence as an example. I woke up when my alarm started going off. What if we took out going off and used instead another word like hooting or buzzing? Pause the video now to think of at least 3 other words which could work in that part of the sentence, and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Great, now that I've got some options, I'll try putting them into the sentence. I woke up when my alarm started singing. I woke up when my alarm started wailing. Now, the same thing happens there. I get woken up by my alarm. But the word that you pick and the sound that it makes gives that moment a different feel or emotion. Perhaps it even sets the tone for the day that the character will have. I reckon a character whose alarm is singing might have a happier day than one whose alarm is wailing. Just one word does all of that. So, pause the video to pick one of the words you came up with and swap it into that sentence to see how it sounds. Hit play when you're ready to move on. If you want to try this out with some of your own writing, we can do that right now. What you're going to need is an interesting or important sentence from a poem or a story that you're working on. So, pause the video to get your sentence and then hit play when you're ready to get started. Great. The first step is to highlight the key verb in your sentence, the doing word. Pause the video to do that and then hit play when you're done. Nice one. In a moment, you're going to think of some alternatives for the word that you've highlighted. You're going to make a list of words that mean the same thing or almost the same thing, but sound different. You might want to use a thesaurus or search online. So, pause the video to do that and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Awesome. Now, for some words, you might have only found a couple of options, but for others, you might have found absolutely loads. So, in a moment, you're going to think about the emotion in the bit of the story or poem that you're working on. Which word and the sound of that word would work best for that emotion? Think about the difference between wailing and singing. So, pause the video to change your sentence by swapping in one new word and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Great. I would love to read how your sentences changed. So put both versions in the comments under the video and I'll give you some feedback. Now, it might seem like a lot of effort to only change 1 or 2 words, but I find playing with the sound of words one of the most fun parts about writing poetry. And if you put the effort in to make sure that the words you select sound right, it will make a big difference to how people feel when they listen or read your poetry. So, if you wanted to use the same technique again, you could just follow the same simple steps that we had done today. 1, you highlight the key verb in your sentence. 2, you come up with a list of alternative words that mean the same thing but sound different. 3, you swap one of them into the sentence. That's it. So, if you've enjoyed the video today and you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do that here. And if you'd like to have a go at a 10-minute poem challenge, you can do that here. Thanks for watching.